Okay, I'm back, and so now we want to talk about what are landforms. So landforms occur on land, and it's a particular kind of feature that is going to be a result of wind, rain, gravity. So all of these different processes acting on the geosphere is going to carve it up into different kinds of landforms, and they result from a competition between uplift and erosion. So plate tectonics wants to make mountains, and so that's going to be building up the continents. On the other hand, you've got erosion, which could be caused by wind or ice or rain, and so all of these things are going to be acting on the land to break it apart into sediments, and then gravity is going to be pulling it down. So that you've got one process that's lifting up the land, and at the same time you've got this other stuff that is acting on the land and is trying to carve it down. And ultimately, if weather had its way, everything would be at sea level. If plate tectonics had its way, everything would be like Mount Everest. And so landforms are going to be a balance between these two opposing forces acting on it. So what are some types of landforms? So in future lessons, we're going to look at all of these. So mass wasting. So an example of that would be a landslide, where you've got material that's up here, and then because of gravity, it's pulled down to here. So we're going to call that mass wasting. Okay, then you got fluvial. So fluvial means rivers. So how can a river carve a valley, and how can it cause erosion? Okay, then you got karst. And so karst is going to be caves. So we're going to find out how does a cave form. Okay, then you got glacial. So that's going to be ice processes. Then you've got coastal. So that's going to be wave action. And then you got wind. So all of these are different factors that are going to cause different kinds of landforms to develop. So what does landform development depend on? Okay, first of all, it depends on what processes are active. So do you have a lot of wind? So if you don't have a lot of wind, you're not going to have a lot of wind processes acting on the land. Okay, if you're in the middle of a desert, you're not going to have too much river activity unless it's a flash flood that occurs. If you're living in a desert where it's very, very hot, you're probably not going to have very much ice processes going on. Okay, then the next thing is uplift. So landform development, we said, depends on stuff that is being lifted up. Okay, then the next thing is climate. We said that climate is the stuff that is eroding it and trying to bring everything back down. It also depends on lithology. So the lithology is going to be what are the rocks that are being carved up. So if you've got a landscape that consists of clay, that is going to be much easily eroded than what a landscape made of granite is going to be. Okay, then you got life. So, for example, there's tree roots. Life also produces acids that can eat away at rocks. Life is going to take in carbon dioxide. So life has a role in this. And then time. So that the longer that the elements have a chance to act on a landscape, the more that landscape is going to be carved up. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll talk about landforms on other planets.